I just had a quick break, now I'm back. And on to the second topic of this video. A couple of days ago, I was on one of my profiles that doesn't block all of those transgenders and what have you. And also follows a lot of the idiotic women who follow them, so I get to see their tweets. But I can't remember who it was. One of the women had retweeted one of the transgenders who had tweeted some very, very pertinent information. I'll stick a screenshot in into the video. What was revealed, I believe, came to light, somebody said to me maybe around 5 years ago, and the information pertains to Kelly J. Keane, and it's regarding her husband and some of his beliefs. So Kelly J. Keane Mitchell, founder of Standing for Women, Let Women Speak, founder of Party of Women. Kelly J has let us all know that she's very lucky that she has a wonderful, supportive family in all of her endeavours, in her personal life and in her Standing for Women and Party of Women endeavours too, with 100% side-by-side support from her husband. However, the information posted by the transgender, so what dropped on this tranny's space timeline was he posted the diversity and inclusion statement from Matey's website, Ryan Minshall, who uses a different name for the business, blimmin' Dave Starr or something, or Michael Rod, or I can't remember what it is now. I just took down the screenshots, but you know, that's not what I care about. It is significant because, you know, stage names, Norma Jean and Marilyn, and, you know, to contrive one's name in such a way. It's interesting. Well, maybe it's not significant, but it's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, the image that such a power couple might be, you know, harbour of themselves. Anyway, back to the diversity and inclusion statement on Ryan Minshall's website. At DigiLife events, blah, 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 we aim to foster, blah, 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 a diverse and inclusive culture in which people with all experiences, families and cultures can thrive, blah, blah, blah. A couple of other sentences to support that. Blah, 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 ellipsis, that build understanding regardless of race, religion, sex beliefs, disability or gender. And as a closing sentence to their diversity and inclusion paragraph, they've felt the need to highlight one particular sector of society that they feel needs including. We stand against prejudice of any kind. We recognise the struggle for equality for those in the global LGBTQA+ community and celebrate their steps towards this goal over the last 50 years. He's a director of this company. So Ryan Minshall either wrote that statement or took part in it he's definitely seen that statement. So, Matey stands against discrimination towards lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transsexuals, queers. No, not transsexuals, because it could be trans anything. It's just a T in it, and who knows what it is. Right, so it's lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transers, queers, asexuals, and pluses. He celebrates their steps towards equality, and he stands against prejudice against any of those in the acronym. So, I mean, that's a bit contradictory to the values that his missus stands for, and that she's told all the followers of Standing for Women that her husband fully supports her in. And I find that pretty dodged, TBH. There was a pre-season mashup to season 2 where, for those who weren't catching on, I made a little mashup of, bits and bobs from the season to illustrate what I was noticing and what I believe about what I did believe when I first arrived at, on this gender critical Twitter forum, and looking at other aspects of what was going on in the trans debate, online and in the news and what have you, and with all the clinics and what have you. While I'm looking at it, there was a common thread of, although we were talking about women's rights, I mean, I'd come along to talk about women's rights, and because, what was highlighted to me that got me interested was women's spaces, yeah? So we're chatting about women's rights, and all I'm noticing a lot of rhetoric around protecting gay blokes. A lot of the conversations being around how fantastic same-sex attraction is. Now, of course, the context around everyone was saying same-sex attraction, it's fantastic. The context there is that society shouldn't be transing children just because the child might grow up to be gay. So, I mean, of course, anyone would agree with that. They're still gay. What's the point in turning trans? You're still the same person. Where's the point? If there wasn't this public argument about turning people trans, would hordes of straight people be extolling same-sex relationships rather than just ignoring them? How do you get gangs of straight people not only talking about gay relationships, but praising them and encouraging them? Well, you need something to rally against, don't you? There's no, unless there's an argument, unless there's something to be perceived as worse than being gay, straight people just not going to be involved in gay conversations, are they? Anything to do with it? They're just not going to say anything at all about it. Just let them get on with it. But, there's conspiracies out there about this homosexual agenda, and, that chap Michael Swift did write that manifesto, and all of this stuff is, it's a long old acronym, innit? But it does still begin with LGB. Oh, mate. But that's all I'm saying. So yeah, I noticed that that's the, if anything is actually happening because of this argument, it's that and not because they're extolling the trans, it's because they're extolling the gays as a way to go against the trans. Yeah, just loads of straight people being convinced to bang on about how great same-sex relationships are. And yeah, and then you've got all this only you know, all the adults who, all the adult males who turn trans, this is what they say, like LWS, what they call, let women speak and standing for women, yeah, of gender criticals, yeah. All the adult males who turn themselves trans are AGPs, autogynephile perverts, yeah. But all the little lads who fancy a bit of transing are victims, because somehow perverts ain't perverts till they're over 21. You know, all the like skin peelers and that there's documentaries about, serial killers and whatnot. Yeah, we all know that they were strangling bunny rabbits and stuff like that when they were 8, 9, 12 and all the rest of it. It just escalates to all of this kind of malarkey, doesn't it? So, but no, according to the rhetoric, all the little boys are victims. And that's, you know, even young adults. And so that's one way to differentiate, because obviously all the little boys are little gay boys, but all the adult ones who decide to turn trans are supposedly straight. I mean, don't you just think they're all probably bi anyway? But you know, they're blokes. They'll do it with anything, mate. It don't even matter if it's, you know, human. A lot of the time with these weirdos. I'm not just saying the dress up people. I'm saying all men. But so there you go. The adult males are just perverts who are straight. The little boys are gays who are victims. And then what they say about the females is they're all just lesers who are victims. So all the gays are victims, yeah, and all the straights are freaks and chop doctors, yeah. That's the message that GC is really. You know, when you get into the conversations and that, it's all just about protect LGB, because you can't say the word woman without someone saying and gay blokes. It's like, it gives a, get out of it. But also a lot of the birds are bloody perverts, aren't they? And they go on about all these blooming so-called ones who want to turn themselves into a bloke but still go out of blokes. Who cares? What about the ones who want to turn themselves into a bloke and go out with you? That's the one I'm bothered about, yeah? But no, because the lesbian ones are victims. They can't be perverts. Only straight women could be perverts. I mean, guys, this whole thing is a psyop. I'm not going looking at blooming Ryan Minshall's company's ass and all of that shit. All right, I'm just telling you, he supports the LGBTQIA+. She purports not to support the LGBTQIA+. And what the hell is wrong with you lot? Why am I only finding out from a fucking tranny 2 days ago? Clearly, loads of you lot already knew this information. That's it. That's the end of the video. Speak to you in a bit.